Wonderful Saturday, chilling out over the weekend, lockdown from COVID, keeping yourself safe and healthy, I hope. And thanks for tuning into this masterclass because today we're going to talk about how to have an attention grabbing CV on LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn is one of my, I'd say, favorite social media platforms from a business and career perspective. I'm not sure if you know that 95% of recruiters go to look for potential job candidates on LinkedIn. 95%. So if you are looking for a job, you need to be on LinkedIn. If you're a business that does B2B or business to business sales, you need to be on LinkedIn. And I would argue, even if you're happily employed right now, you should still have an awesome LinkedIn profile because the recruiters are there all the time. You might get offered a new job or bigger salary, promotion, who knows? But you need, if you're working at all, if you're in business at all, you need a killer LinkedIn profile. The usage of LinkedIn is just growing and growing. I'm there every single day because the majority of my business that I get for D is for Digital comes through LinkedIn. So having a profile that is complete, that is interesting, that is readable, has the kind of information that people are going to be interested in is so important. And hey, Charles, good morning to you. Hey, Jack. So what I wanted to focus on today was giving you a look at some of the resources that are available to you so that you can create an awesome LinkedIn profile. Hey, Kezi, how are you? Because there's a lot of free resources available. Now, I've spent a lot of time updating my LinkedIn profile. Hey, Bara. Sometimes it can be a bit dull doing this kind of work. I think there's nothing more boring than writing a CV, right? But it's so important to get yourself out there. LinkedIn, as I said, 95% of recruiters come to LinkedIn to look for candidates. So the job opportunities are huge, and it's so important to invest a little time. And now that you might be stuck at home and have a little bit of time on your hands, a great way, even if you were to spend an hour just either setting it up if you haven't got one set up yet, or go in and update it. You never know how many opportunities will come your way just by having a really good LinkedIn profile. So I'm going to go through about 6 easy things that you can do to make your LinkedIn profile awesome. But I want to start by sharing some little resources so that you can shortcut stuff, because I love shortcuts. If you don't have to do all the work yourself, don't do it. Go copy and steal with pride from other places. So one thing, so let me show you something now. Let me bring this up on the screen. So this here comes from the LinkedIn talent blog, and you can see on the ticker screen here below, you're going to see a link. There's a load of fabulous resources on LinkedIn. Here we go. So business.linkedin.com, talent-solutions blog. It's a little bit long, but if you Google it, you'll find it. So here they have an excellent article on the top LinkedIn profile summaries that they love. So obviously, not all of us are great at writing. Do you know what I mean? Writing creatively. So sometimes it's easier to go and see what somebody else has done and then sort of swipe it. So I wanted to show you this because it's super interesting. Now I need to go down. So what they have here is 10 examples of really well-written LinkedIn profiles. So, and for different jobs. So senior recruiter, developer, an executive assistant, software engineer, creative director, chief product officer, real estate agent, senior software engineer, HR manager, product marketer. And even if what the field you work in isn't exactly these, they're still worth looking into. If it's remotely like what you do, there'll be content there that you can probably pull. So I'm going to take a look at the executive assistant one so you can see. So this is Shanae Smith. Nice photograph. We're going to go the importance of photographs. Executive assistant and operations manager. It's clear what she does. We know she's in Canada. You can see her education. But what's really interesting here, and I know this is hard to read, so this is why you have the link in here to go check it out later. But her summary is written really interestingly, and it's one of the points I'm going to cover. She tells her summary like a story. And I'm just going to hide this. So a lot of the summaries that we have on our CVs and our LinkedIn profiles are really boring, to be honest. You know, I worked here, I did these roles and responsibilities, this is my boss, this is what I got paid, and this is what I did before, this is my education, and it's like, wah, 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 really dull. There's nothing more boring than reading a CV as far as I'm concerned. So if you want to stand out, you want to have a summary that nearly reads like a story, and I'm going to show you mine a little bit later so that you can see it. But you want something that people are going to really want to read, that's not dull, that's interesting, that might share a little bit about your personality, because we don't hire people just based on the skills they have. We hire them because of their personalities and their fit to a business. So whether maybe you've traveled, or you speak another language, or you have kids, or your particular hobbies or something interesting, like that's all really great content that brings your profile and your CV to life, so that a recruiter who's reading thousands of CVs and profiles every week, the one that will stand out to them is the one that's more interesting, right? So you want to make sure your profile isn't boring. No boredom. Now, what I also want to show you as another little hack that I have, and I talked about this in, I think, my Upwork masterclass last week. It's to go and copy other people's job descriptions. So maybe you can't remember all of the roles and responsibilities you had in your last job, and maybe you didn't even have a job description, because I know I've worked in jobs where there was no job descriptions, and it's hard to sort of write a really complete description of what you did. Well, if you come in here, and this is in topresume.com, another great resource for looking for job descriptions and anything about looking for a job. And here, look, account manager job description, an accountant, administrative assistant, business analyst, cashier, customer service representative, hostess, machine operator. I won't read them all, but look, they go on and on. Receptionist, retail, sales, security. You can go in here and just copy and paste out those job descriptions so that you don't have to write it all yourself. Keep it easy. I don't want you to have a poor LinkedIn profile because it's taking you ages to do and you don't have enough time and you're too busy. That's not good enough. Find shortcuts. Google whatever job you're in. If you're in customer service, Google customer service job description, or free customer service job description, or sample retail sales job description. Whatever your job is now or has been, go and Google it, copy and paste it out, stick it in your job, stick it in your profile, because for the most part, all the job descriptions, the kind of jobs we do, are kind of the same. You know, you can tweak it if there's something in there that you didn't do, or you can add to it, but it makes the process of building out a really stellar LinkedIn profile so much easier and so quicker. I do it myself, okay? So just do it. Anything to keep it simple. So I wanted to show you, I'm going to give you a look through. We'll go through the 6 things that I think you really need to do, but I want to show you my LinkedIn profile so that you can get a real view of what that looks like. So here's me on LinkedIn. Now, the number one thing to start with when you're doing your LinkedIn profile is your cover photo, is your profile photo here. And you want to make sure that, actually, I think mine is even a little bit small. Generally, the hard and fast rule is 60% of the photo should be your face. So if you look at me in the screen picture, they need to be able to see your face. So if you're doing a full length head to toe picture, they're not going to be able to see what you look like, right? So make sure that your face is visible, that it's a nice profile photo. You don't have to spend money doing it. Get a friend to take. Don't put selfies at all. Not good for LinkedIn. Maybe get a friend to take a photo of you in a nice background. They're sort of this kind of shape, and that's good. So get your, and hey, Farah, I see you're on. So profile photo number 1. Number 2 is this background photo. Now you can put in any kind of background here. And I have one here. This one, I won an award this year. These are the awards I've won. And this is my website, because I want, when someone looks at this, because you might only have a couple of seconds of someone looking at your profile. So you want to make sure you grab their attention so they stay looking at your profile and don't go looking at anybody else's. So if you have any achievements, like you don't even have to have pictures here. Maybe you could write some text here about an achievement or something that you're proud of. It might be another photograph. It could be anything. So make sure that this is interesting. If it's blank, like I see a lot of LinkedIn profiles are, it's a little bit dull. And if you think of this as advertising space. This is basically what this is. This is advertising space. So I want to make sure that anyone coming here knows what my website is. So it's bang there. And they know that I've won awards, because that talks to my credibility in the field that I work in, right? But if you haven't won an award, it doesn't matter. Put something else there that might grab someone's attention. And this little profile, this picture that I used at the back, I use Canva, so C-A-N-V-A, canva.com to create this. Canva is, it's free. And you can pay a little bit if you want, but you can do this for free. And they have LinkedIn banners that are already designed and set up, and you can drop in your own text. So it makes it look super professional, like you've spent a load of money on it when you haven't. So Canva, canva.com is a great place to go and design this. And if you design one and you want me to take a look at it, shoot through your LinkedIn profile. I'm happy to give you feedback. So your cover photo, your profile photo, your banner photo here, and then your headline. This is the headline on LinkedIn. Now, most people just put in their job description or what they do, like, you know, sort of whether you're customer service representative or retail manager or food and beverage manager, whatever it is. But you are allowed quite a few characters here. And this is another way of grabbing people's attention. Because if you just put what you do, your job title there, that's not enough. So you can be playful with this. I have here learning and development devotee, so a little play on my name with a brain, because I'm into learning and development and using my brain. I create digital educational content. Now, I could have said CEO, D is for digital. Yawn, boring. Like there's no personality in that. You want to give it a little bit of color. So I create digital educational content, and I have a little picture of the mobile phone. And I'm the author of the Hard Facts About Soft Skills. So that's one of the books that I've written. So that, rather than CEO, like, that's much more interesting. It says a little bit more. And we haven't even looked down into my profile, right? Yet we haven't even gone there. So let me grab my profile. We're still up at the first part of the page. And that's already a whole lot of information. So, oops. Let me grab my profile. Sorry, guys. Here we go. So we can move down. And the fourth bit is your summary. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier on. You see, you have this about section. Now, down here, lower down, you get into your skills and where you worked and, experience. We're not even there yet. Your summary is the next thing that people will look at, your about. And this is a great place to tell your story. And it's not, this section of LinkedIn is not used well enough by most people. But when you think, if you've grabbed someone's attention here with your photo, you have a nice photo and the banner is nice and your title is kind of interesting, the next thing they'll look at is about. So if your about is really, really boring, people won't scroll down to look at your experience and all the other fabulous stuff that you've done. You want to make sure that you've written a little story about yourself. So again, you're grabbing the attention of the person who's looking at your profile and just keeping them on your page, because that's what it's about. Most of the about and summary sections are, yawn, there's nothing interesting. It's maybe a list of skills or stuff about your job. No. We want it to be a story. So this is an example of mine. I'll read out just the first paragraph just to give you an idea. So I got the travel bug after my first stint abroad, scooping ice cream in Euro Disney Paris as part of my European Studies degree. Fast forward to 2019, I have to change that to 2020. I've lived and worked in 18 countries and counting, everywhere from the Turks and Caicos Islands to Qatar and my favorite country of all, Thailand. Now based in Marbella, my passion for travel and the desire to have a career that gives me the freedom to work however, whenever, and wherever I want led me to launch D is for Digital. I took a chance a few years back and I launched my first online course, Detox, a 30-day personal development program hosted in a Facebook group. And then I basically give some little results of what happened there. I have some testimonials from customers and I have my contact details. You see what I mean? The difference is, let me bring myself back up. The difference is that you're telling a story. Now, and if you're humble and shy, you need to get used to bigging up yourself, right? particularly if you're looking for employment and you want a recruiter to pay attention to your profile, you need to be able to tell a little bit of a story about yourself. So even if it's where you've come from, the things that you're passionate about, the things that make you a little bit different, what you're interested in, any of the achievements, or even one achievement that you're the proudest of, and why that achievement sticks out in your mind. I mean, that's so much interesting than I did customer service or I did retail and I worked here and I worked here. Turn it into a story. And it doesn't even have to be as long as mine. It can be shorter if you want, but you want to captivate. You want to captivate, and don't be shy or humble. Share the big stuff that you've done. You will all have things that you've achieved that are worth sharing, and that's where you do it. So that's number 4. Make your summary a story. And now I want to show you the rest of this. So we're going to move down. Oops. Here we go. Sorry, guys. It won't move down. Hold on a second. Technology. Showing stream. Bringing it up. Oh, here we go. Perfect. So I'm going to jump down past your skills and education to here, skills and endorsements. This is another part of your profile that isn't very used. And hey, Jonathan, nice to have you here. This is where you can add a new skill, and I'm just going to put one in here. So for example, if we click on this, there we go. You can add up to, 3 skills. I have entrepreneurship, executive coaching, and leadership development, but you can choose from a whole lot of them. So if you add a skill in here, then people who you're connected to on LinkedIn can endorse you for that skill. So for example, they might give you 5 stars, or they might go, yeah, Dee is really good at entrepreneurship. And it's a great way to get different feedback from people which are sort of shouting out the skills that you're really good at. So here I have, because my skills have changed over time as my jobs have changed. So at the moment, I'm focusing on entrepreneurship, executive coaching, and leadership development, and you can see who's endorsed me for those. But there's also endorsements in lots of other areas because I used to work in call centers and I've worked in telecoms. So there's a lot more endorsements there. But it's a brilliant way of a recruiter in particular being able to see how good you are beyond what you're saying, how good you are, right? Because we might be a little bit colored in what we say. So it's objective feedback from other people who are going, yes, you are brilliant at that skill. So make sure you add your skills in here so people can endorse you on them. And then last but not least, but really important, are your recommendations. So you can ask, you see here, you can ask for a recommendation. I'm going to click on this. And this is basically asking someone to give you a reference. So who do I want to ask? Who can I think of? I've got references from lots of people. Let me pick Donna Isabella. You can select your relationship with this person. So did they manage you? Did you report to them? Were they senior to you? You know, and you pick which one. Were you students together? Did they mentor you? Whatever it was. And I'm going to say worked but at different companies. You select where you were working at the time. I'm just going to pick something random. You click next. And then you can write, so you can just send here, or you can type in here and write a little bit of extra text going, would you please give me a testimonial? I'm looking for work right now, and it really helped me to jazz up my profile. Because your recruiters will come here and they will absolutely look at your recommendations. So I've received 22 recommendations. I've given 30 recommendations. And I guarantee the strategy that works well here, if you're going to ask for a recommendation from someone, give them one in return. So it's win-win, because then both of your profiles benefit from it. Because if you're only going to ask and you're not going to give them, well, that's not really fair, right? So you can see here all of the recommendations that I have from different people across my career. Like, this really, really helps when someone is coming to look at my profile, again, because it's giving a lot more credibility to my profile. It's more than just what I'm saying I'm good at. It's what other people are saying I'm good at too. So let's go over those. So to have an awesome LinkedIn profile, your profile photo, so you can see your face, the nice banner photo at the back, and you can use canva.com to create that, super simple and free. Make sure your headline is more than just your job title, and use my profile as a way to, I suppose, get inspiration and copy and paste. If there's something on my profile that you've seen that you like, take it, use it in your own. I'm happy to share anything that's on my profile. So make sure your headline is more than just your job title. Write your summary like it's a story. We don't want dull LinkedIn profiles. So share a little bit about yourself. It's okay to do that. In fact, it's brilliant to do it. Make sure you list your skills so that people can endorse you, and ask and give recommendations. Now, obviously, there's loads of other sections of your profile where you can put in your job, where you worked and when, any awards that you've had, any organizations that you're linked with, people that you follow. Like, there's loads and loads. But even if you were to start with the six things that I've said, that would be a great way to just shine up your LinkedIn profile. So if you haven't got a LinkedIn profile and you're looking for work, or you want to be headhunted and found because you're amazing, get your LinkedIn profile set up. And if it's set up, but it probably needs a bit of work, because to be honest, most of us only go to our LinkedIn profiles when we're looking for jobs. So they might get updated when we're unemployed. That's not good enough. We need our LinkedIn profiles looking just stellar all the time, because recruiters are looking at your profile all the time. So it's like having your best suit on LinkedIn. You want to have your best suit on. You want to look professional and like you're a superstar, even when you're employed, even when you're happily employed in another job, because there might be another opportunity just whizzing around there, and a recruiter finds your profile and thinks, that person looks cool, because you'll be judged on your profile. The amount of attention that you put to it is obvious. I can tell if someone has really spent time on their LinkedIn profile and someone who hasn't. Yeah, and I'm going to go to the person who has spent more time on their LinkedIn profile. So there, LinkedIn, get it done. I hope you found that useful. Now we're going to continue on the whole interview theme tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm talking about 3 winning tips for preparing for an online interview. Now that we're all on lockdown, now we don't know when we're going to be able to escape and get back to normality. The chances are a lot of interviews are going to happen like this, right? They're going to be online, they're going to be video. And it's not super different to doing a face-to-face interview, but there are things that you might need to prepare a little bit differently, plan for a little bit differently. So I'm going to share some of my winning strategies for doing a really good online interview. I'll be on at 11 a.m. again tomorrow to do that. So tune in. If you have any questions on setting up a LinkedIn profile, drop them in the comments. Even if you're listening to a recording of this, just reach out and let me know. d@disfordigital.com is my email address. You can contact me anytime. In the meantime, have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe, stay healthy. And hi, Claudinia, and I'm just signing out. Stay safe, stay healthy. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.